Hello friends and welcome back to Clownie Nerf. As you can see, we're not in my standard filming location, although we kind of are because it's still my miserable house trailer. If you live in a trailer, it's not a house, it's a trailer. Houses don't have wheels and they don't go away unless you live in Hurricane Alley and it's still a trailer, because that's where you put in trailers, because God hates trailers. He does, he really does.
By the way,
and I'm not the original of that statement, so anyhow.
Quick though, if you're wondering, I'm not standing on anything. Clownie is really this short.
Yes.
I'm only 5'6" for comparison. Just point of fact.
I have the dimensions of a ball. But we're not.
It's bad. It's bad because at one point I described you as, you know, the guy that looks like a bowling ball. He's wearing a red shirt, looks like a bowling ball. That's Clownie. But anyway, why are we here?
We're not here to debate my physical health, which is obviously poor. This is my buddy Beaker. I mentioned him in one of my other videos.
Hello.
At least I'm pretty sure I did. It was the last one I did on, or the previous one before, about the review or something. I don't really remember because I don't watch my videos. Even by the amount of people, you can tell by the subscribers, which is why I still make them. But hey, it's fun. My buddy Beaker here has bought the Burst Wave. One of the only two versions of the, was it Boomco? Boomco stuff, which is actually worthwhile buying. It's, the one is the pistol, the far shot. And then
pistol.
this thing he has here, which will appear, is the Boomco Burst Wave. It's pretty much a 3-round shotgun with a Hornet-style pump. As you can tell, he's done something a little off to it because we all just mess with this stuff, so I'm going to let Beaker here take over and tell you what he's done to the blaster.
Okay, so essentially, it's pretty stock still, except for the fact that really all I did was I came in, unscrewed the blaster, and I plugged the overpressure release valve. Some people will say that's a horrible idea, but when this thing has stock, it's maybe getting 40s, a little less than that. Plug the OPRV. I actually did some reinforcement to the shell, a little epoxy putty, and the trigger arm as well, because you get the tank up to pressure and the blast button very, very difficult to move. So reinforce the trigger arm with some epoxy putty. Golden. The trigger pull is actually quite nice. The handle is great. Like, I mean, my hand fits on there real nice. Pump is actually really decent. I did not feel the need to do a pump replacement. I can talk. Essentially what I did was I left, it has 3 4-shot barrels stock, and what I did was I came into the removable one, because when you get it, like, this 3rd barrel is not attached, you have to slide it in. I went in and removed the internals of that cylinder and shoved a 1/2-inch CPVC coupler down inside, glued it right to the back where the air goes in. It's flat on there. I definitely had to do some Dremel work to make sure that the coupler fit. Glued that in, hot glued around it to make sure it wasn't going anywhere, and now I have I believe this is about 8 inches of CPVC that I'm using as effectively a speed loader. Horrible paint job. It says Danger Mouse. It's on both sides.
And that's with a stencil.
That is with a stencil. And it's still garbage. But hey, I'm learning.
Next it's going to be turkey hands.
Turkey. Dude! I don't like you anymore. Anyway, about 8 pumps.
Talk to my 3 subscribers.
Talk to your 3 subscribers. All 3 of them.
And they're not family.
No.
They have nothing to do with this.
Sure. That's what we let him believe. It's all one person subscribing on different channels. Anyway, the ranges that I'm getting out of this flat, like I said, I'm 5'6", so that does affect distance, is about high 80s into the 90s, which I was really surprised at. It's, from what I've heard otherwise, the air tank is comparable to the size of an AT3K.
2K.
Oh, sorry, 2K.
3Ks.
It's a 2K.
Yeah, 3Ks are a little bit bigger.
The tank itself is a little weird because it's screwed on top, so it's not necessarily one solid unit, and the overpressure release valve is actually integrated into the front. It's not a separate piece. It's not in the pump handle. It's
built
up
more like
on
a
the tank.
pop-off.
It's built up onto the tank, and it's pretty easy. You take 2 screws out. Watch out for the spring. I lost the spring. Filled it with some hot glue, a little...
Is that spring from a boom co rail attachment, or is that a spring like a trigger spring?
No, it is actually the overpressure release valve is built into it, and the spring is part of the overpressure release valve. Once it hits a certain pressure, it's a small pin and a spring. That's the overpressure release valve in this thing.
So it works basically, it's essentially a pop-off then.
Yeah, it's a pop-off.
It works like, if you're familiar with a pop-off, think of it as an AT3K pull stem or a berserker or a big blast. How they have the little nail, for lack of a better term for description, coming out of the back. And that would be under a pressure, so when it hits a certain pressure, it finally has enough to just push it out. That whole thing would be encapsulated with a spring on top of it. So that's basically how the pop-off works, instead of the normal ones that they use in the pump system, is what he's saying, that they have one that gets pressure built backwards into the system. It won't take anymore. This is probably one of the reasons the thing's getting the ranges. I think it might, because you're going directly into the system itself. It's building back pressure through all the hoses and stuff,
yeah,
which can cause issues. I found that when making my Scroto Fury, so I had to upgrade my pump.
It's not in the hose, and the pump is actually pretty decent. I normally get about 8 pumps into it. I know I could get more, but for safety's sake, longevity's sake, I just don't feel the need to. Plus, I'm getting 80s and 90s as far as range, so I can run the extra 10 feet, to make it effective at 100. That's gonna get comments. Because, yeah.
Well, you're running it, not me.
Yeah, I'm running, not you.
I camp from an easy lounge for an easy chair.
But so. Also, I know that I'm using the term speed loader for just one section of CPVC. Because of having to use the hand pump to power this thing, I personally can't see using 2 sections of CPVC quickly enough. I don't see the benefit. With shoving it in, turning it around, pumping it, firing it, shoving it in, instead of 1, you're still gonna lose the same amount of time when reloading. The part that's interesting is the Boomco darts. As you can see, lovely side piece that the darts kind of just fit into. It's a little silly, gimmicky, but this effectively gives me 4 shots. If just starting a 315, something like that, I have 4 shots with the 4-shot Boomco dart spread. He can verify this. It actually goes into the 80s and 90s as well. Like, at a decent
you want to take it
spread.
outside and do a test shot then?
Sure, why not?
We can take it outside and do a test shot.
And the noise this thing makes is hilarious.
Yeah, you probably may not be able to hear it. One of the nice things about living in a trailer park, other than very few, is the fact that a lot of the lots are set distances. So my lot happens to be 100 feet from one side to the other, so we're just going to set and have him shoot at me on the other side, so you can actually see about how far they get. Because the range test, when you do it shooting away, let's face it, you're shooting a 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch piece of foam.
This isn't even
on something that disappears off into the distance. You really can't see it.
This is not even 1/2 inch.
And I'm not setting out tape and stuff like that, but like everyone else on the internet, ranges are always debatable.
Yeah,
and
debatable, but hey.
I don't own a chronograph, so because I'm not rich.
I don't even know if I'd be able to get the 4 darts through a chronograph.
No,
I
don't think you would. You just.
I have not chronographed this yet. I am interested in getting a chronograph reading for this. I just haven't yet.
Well, maybe the next one, the craftsman shows up, one of the guys.
Somebody who has a chronograph that I meet at a war. I will love to get this chronographed.
Well, let's take this thing outside and we'll give it a quick test shot.
All right. Cool.
All right, we're back outside my trailer park here with my buddy Beaker once again doing the range test, or the pseudo range test, because I'm not laying tape out for this stuff. We're going to do a couple of shots. Him first shooting away because, you know, that's so poignant and awesome.
No, we're doing it reverse. I'm going to run down there first, and then I'm going to shoot at you.
Oh, we got to see me dodge and jump. That's good.
Yeah.
Large target.
4-shot spread. It'll be okay.
Okay, just for the record, the trailer park lots, like I said, are roughly 100 feet. We're a little further back because I got the camera a little further back. It was the only pseudo flat spot I could actually get a hold of here on the land, but it's better to put it back anyway, just in case one does go rogue and smack my camera. Because I'm poor, obviously, because I live in a trailer park. Means I'm not going to easily replace it until somebody else throws one out. Because that's how you get stuff in a trailer park. Hate mail below to Clownie at rocketmail.com.
Speaking of throwing stuff out, I found a Nitron in the trash the other day.
Nitron?
A Nitron.
That's cool.
I have no idea if it works. Not relevant to the video. I'm going to run down there and start this thing.
Between I got the one that's busted and the one you got, maybe we can make a boom Nitron out of it. All right, what's coming up first? What's the first shot?
4-shot spread.
4-shot spread. 4-shot spread from the, they're unmodified barrels on these things. So this is the way it would come out normally, other than the fact that you got the pump plug, you got the, sexy beaker dance. It's plug, your OPV's plug, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. Oh, okay. All right. In a second, I'll show you where they went. They went just wild, completely out wild. Okay. So
that was fun.
Give it a quick spin here. Not sure exactly how to aim a camera. There we go. There's one right there.
The rest of them landed.
Yeah, it's a good, I'd say about 4 to 5 feet beyond the camera range. So he got a pretty good shot. Just back up here again. Yeah, there's Danger Mouse. What are we doing this time?
Gonna do the 4-shot spread again, but that way.
All right, 4-shot spread again.
Because the sound on this thing when it shoots off is hilarious.
All right, I'm gonna come around here. And
so.
All right, man. Let it rip.
8 pumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I love that. They're a little bit slow, but how are you going to dodge 4 at once?
Yeah, if I had a gutter, they'd be completely tossed in the gutter right now.
Honestly, part of it was, like, I was looking at it like, I could single all 3 of them. Like, with CPVC, maybe do rear loading, and that would be kind of cool, but you know what is probably a little bit more offensive than getting, you know, is getting taken out in a match by 4 Boomco darts. Is a little bit more offensive than getting taken out by a Slug or a Stefan or an Elite. It's just like, did I just Boomco darts?
All hate mail for Beaker will be forwarded to Beaker's address.
It's hilarious. That's the main point. It's a really small platform, but it's got some serious kick, and I really like it. I look forward to beating somebody and getting beaten senseless while using this thing. Look for it.
Last section of the video was edited because it's PG-13. As you can tell, my neighbor's got his mower going, so this is the end of the video. Like, subscribe, hate mail, I read it all. I forward what Beaker deserves to himself. Remember, Clownie's watching. Peace.
Later.